going to be talking today about Google optimization and why that's important for your business. So the things we're going to go through today is firstly obviously who I am and what my experience is in the industry. We're going to go through a quick update on a new algorithm change Google's had called Google Penguin, which some of you may have heard from or may have had problems on your site with the Google Penguin update. We're also going to go through why you need to get your business online. So obviously every business does need to be online in this current climate. It's really, really important to be online. I'm going to give you some stats and just show you how powerful Google is compared to other marketing methods that there are out there. And also the most important thing that we're going to go through today is how to get your site on page one of Google. I'm sure that's probably the most interesting thing that we're going to go through today. Just quickly, obviously there's a lot of you here. It's going to be difficult to keep in touch following this, but we'll take some questions at the end. If you guys want to follow us on Twitter, you can do that. We're on SEO Desk UK, and our Facebook page is facebook.com/SEOdesk.co.uk, so you can get some updates and tips and stuff like that. We'll also put the presentation out on our Facebook page as well, so if you need a copy of this afterwards, that's going to be the easiest place to get that. So, my name, as I said, is James Nicholson. So, I'm a veteran in the online marketing world. I've been working in online marketing in some guise or other for the last 7 years. I work with both small and large businesses. Basically, the job that I do is help them dominate the first page of Google. I'm also a director of SEO Desk. We have over 200 UK clients, and we help them achieve page one rankings for their business, which is obviously really important. Okay, just quickly, has anyone in the room heard of Google Penguin? Okay, has anyone had their site affected by the Google Penguin update? Okay, a couple of people. Okay, so we're just going to run through quickly what the Google Penguin update involved. There's not really lots of data on how Google Penguin is going to affect us moving forward. There was an update that Google rolled out last year called Google Panda that had 3 or 4 versions. We're on version 1 of Penguin, so we really need to wait a few more months and see how this Penguin update is going to change. But I'll just give a quick overview and some things that you can do that could recover you from the Penguin update or could prevent you being hit by this quite strict and big update that Google's put in place. So, the Google Penguin update is basically what's called an over-optimization penalty. So Google, at the moment, they don't want people manipulating their search results. They want to decide who is number one result for a given category. So what Google's looking at is people that have done everything that used to be very good about SEO in the past to basically get themselves up on Google. So things that they're looking for is poor quality content. So it's really, really important that you have some well-written content on your site. It cannot be stolen from a competitor and adapted slightly or duplicated on multiple pages. It needs to be unique, well-written content. That's really important in Google's eyes. So Google is trying to wean out this poor content in its search results. So although Google is absolutely amazing and we all use it every single day, sometimes the results that it gives are not very useful. So by improving the quality score and making sure you have really good, useful content, Google is then improving its search results as well. So what you need to think when you're writing content is not, is this content good for Google anymore? You now need to think, is this content good for the user? Can somebody benefit from the content that you're putting online? That's really, really important, and you need to tick that box. Is it useful first? If it's not, you need to change that. Make your content unique, useful, and a resource that someone can use, and they're going to bookmark it and come back to you. There's also been a penalty for link spamming and link networks. Google has never ever liked content farms or link directories or anything like that. Has anyone ever seen that you could maybe buy 10,000 links for $35 or something like that? This is a typical example of something that Google hates. So we'll go through why you rank on Google shortly, but one of the key factors is quality links to your site. So what happens is small business owners think, well, yes, I need to get quality links to my site. This company's offering me 10,000. What it says is quality links for $35. I may as well try that. You literally may as well leave the safe door open and let your money get stolen from you. It is a big mistake to do that. So never, ever, ever use a submission site that submits your site to thousands and thousands of directories. It doesn't work. It's also a penalty for what's called anchor text being similar too often. Does anyone in the room know what anchor text is? Anchor text is basically when you have a link. For example, if you're on Amazon's website, they have a category of DVDs. When you look at the top menu, it will have a category for DVDs. That link will say the word DVD and it will take you to the page that is amazon.co.uk/DVD. That's effectively anchor text. So it's text telling you if you click on this link, you will end up with a result that is related to that word. So often the most used anchor text in the world is the word click here. So lots of sites will say click here because they're trying to encourage you to basically click on that link to go to a site at the end of it. They probably gave you some information around that. So, for example, we would be trying to optimize our own site for the key phrase SEO. So we will put links out there that will say the phrase SEO and you'll click on that link and it will go to our site. If we have too many of those just saying SEO, if you have too many of those just saying SEO, then the problem is Google knows what you're trying to do. It's really obvious that you're trying to manipulate your search results, so it will then penalise you. So you need to vary that, put your domain name sometimes, put the key phrase you're trying to achieve and other things. So that's one thing that Google Panda is trying to eliminate as well. So the saturated anchor text links. One of the important things is to know why is it important to get your business online. So at the moment, we all use the internet all day long. How many people in this room have used Google today? I'd say that's nearly 50% of the room. If you were in the office, I'm sure it would be higher. How many people have used Google this week? So pretty much 100% of you guys. How many people have used Yellow Pages, yellow.com this week? Okay, so we've got 2 in there. So that just shows you the power. There's probably 80 people here. Every single person pretty much has used Google. 2 people have used yellow.com. So 9 out of 10 households and businesses are looking for products and services online now. That's a fact. That's where we all go to view it. We all go to view stuff. We use smartphones, we use iPads, and we use desktop computers or laptops. A real important fact is 95% of those users will only click on page 1 of Google for their chosen search. So would you guys agree with that? Does anyone go to page 2 often, or would most of you just go to page 1? One guy, yeah. If you're searching a competitor or something really that's expensive or something like that, generally you might go to a couple of pages back, but 95% of searches only go to page 1. 80% of those searches that are on page 1 will only use the organic results. So the organic results are the ones down the middle of the page. Google makes its money by the pay-per-click adverts. They're at the top and on the right-hand side. 20% of people will click on those. In a second, we'll tell you how many people search on Google daily, so you'll know that Google's making a lot of that 20%. Obviously, that means business is changing, so you've got to get yourself on Google. That's really important. The key stats on Google at the moment are there are 1 billion searches a day on Google. That breaks down to 41 million searches an hour, 700,000 a minute, and 46,000 searches in a second. So the searches on Google are phenomenal. Obviously there's people using multiple searches in a day, but it's really, really powerful stuff. Just to clarify where the organic results are. So the organic results are the ones in the red area there. So they're down the middle of the page. You can see at the top there's a cream box, that's an advert, and on the right hand side there are adverts as well. So that's where you need to be, is the organic results down the middle of the page, and that's where people click. Just quickly, the two guys that did look on Yale.com, we just want to just give you some info how many people actually look on Yale.com. So Yale.com gets 400,000 searches a day, which sounds a lot, but that's a worldwide volume. Now, that's less than Google gets in 1 minute. It takes 5 years for Yale.com, to get the same searches that Google gets in 1 day. So lots of people will spend lots of time and money advertising on Yale where they're not putting anything into Google. You need to look at Google. Yale.com is also declining as well, so if you are looking at Yale, I'm not here just to bash them, but I think you guys need to know where the market is shifting towards. The traffic on Yale.com last year in the first quarter was down 30%, and it's still dropping, and this isn't me plucking numbers out the air. This is from the Guardian website. If you look in the stocks and shares section, you'll see Yale's not doing very well at the moment. Okay, so the most important thing today is to understand how can we get your business on page 1 of Google. So this has changed slightly because of the Google Penguin update that we were talking about. So the first thing you need to look at on your site is what's called on-page optimization. So meta tags used to be really important. Yahoo was the original big search engine. There were others before it, but Yahoo was the first one to be really successful. And Yahoo basically looked at what you had in your meta tags and it would return you for that search. What then happened was people stuffed their meta tags with totally irrelevant key phrases. So Manchester United gets a hell of a lot of searches, and when Yahoo first came out, so did Britney Spears. So people would have sites that related to pensions, and they would have the word Manchester United or Britney Spears stuffed in their meta tags, because they felt that if they got that traffic to look at their site, there might be some interest in their product, and they might eventually buy from them, but it doesn't really work. So the meta tags do need to be filled in. We're going to give you some examples on how your meta tags could look quite good in a second. The meta description is important as well. Now, the meta description doesn't so much give you your rank on Google, however, it's more often than none the description that is written in the Google search. So when you have a Google search, you'll have the blue bar, and then you'll have a brief description on that website. That's taken generally from the meta description, so that's important to write something catchy that can get someone to click on your site, hopefully. Keyword density is less as important as it was because of the Google Penguin update. However, you need to identify the keyword you want to be top for. For example, if you want to be top for Plumber London, you need to get that in there approximately 5% in the text. So that's important. You don't put your key phrase in there too much. It's 5% or less, no more than that. So there's tools online. If you Googled keyword density checker, there would be some free tools that would tell you what your density is for that key phrase. Alt tags are image descriptions. So the reason you have an alt tag is because blind people use the internet a lot. So the alt tag can read out what the image is to a blind person. However, Google looks at that as well. So if you mark up your images correctly, that can help with your Google ranking. So if, for example, you're a plumber in London, you could basically have an alt tag on the image of John Smith plumbing in London or something like that. So that would help a little bit as well. Title tags are basically what's above the meta description in the search engine. They're the blue bit that you generally click on to get to the website. Now, Google Penguin update has changed basically what the title tag involves. So before, you would generally just have your key phrases as your title tag. So if you want to be a plumber, and I'm going to use Plumber London all the time as an example. If you wanted to be a plumber in London, good key phrases for Plumber London are Plumber London, Plumbers London, Plumbing London. So what people would have had as their title tags, and they still do, and they are still ranking at the moment, is Plumber London, comma, Plumbers London, comma, Plumbing London. That tag in itself is not useful to a user at all. It is not describing anything about the services, the company name, or anything like that. So it's now important to change those title tags. You need to get the key phrase in there. However, you need to also have something that's useful to the user. So it needs to be engaging, and Google will then give you some more credibility, and that will help with your ranking as well. Okay, so meta tags was one of those things that we just said that we would look at. So they need to be short, punchy keywords separated by a comma. For example, a plumber in London, a good meta tag after Penguin now would be John Smith Plumbers, Plumber London, Plumbing in London. No more than that. So you want 2 to 3 phrases in your meta tags. People that stuff them with hundreds and hundreds of key phrases will not rank. They will get penalised by Google Panda, and their site will be not found anywhere. So that's really important. 2 to 3 key phrases separated by a comma. What's really important is where you get that comma as well. So if you put plumber, comma, London, that is incorrect. What you've done there is you're telling Google that you want to be found for the word plumber and the word London. So the phrase needs to be in between the commas to make it useful to people. Does that make sense? Okay, so the meta description. So a meta description should be a sentence or two describing your business with the keywords included. So an example would be, if you were John Smith Plumbers, so you have something along the lines of John Smith Plumber are a family-based firm in London. We cover all plumbing services in the London area. So you're not spamming it with your keyword repeated and repeated. It's a sentence, it says what you do, it says you're a family-based firm. It would give someone, they more than likely would click on that. An example below is where this meta description would come through. So this is a result taken live from Google today for a company called Service Team. So their one's pretty good, to be fair. It says Service Team provides plumbing and gas services to houses and commercial premises across London. So they rank for the phrase Plumbing London is one of their key phrases that they rank for. So they've got those 2 words in their meta description. The blue line, can everyone see just here, the blue line? So this is the title tag that we were talking about. Now this title tag that these guys have is now no longer good, and they need to look at that to be making sure they're not going to get affected by the Google Penguin update.